It's Tuesday. It's 3 o'clock.
What does that mean?
It's time for hats.
And crap.
And crap.
So much crap.
So much crap.
So little time.
What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about braids.
Braids?
No. Not that kind of braid.
You planned that.
This kind of braid. Did you plan that?
No, but I haven't worn this in a really long time. And you made this beautiful band for me. But it's an employee special, so don't get any ideas. Unless you really want to pay for that idea.
I mean, you can. You totally
You
can.
can.
Pay extra for that. It's just probably more extra.
Hi, Janie.
It's so extra. So much extra.
Looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we had a working sewing machine in here, it might be different.
I can't even thread a needle. What makes you think I can
Well, Anna can use a sewing machine.
Thread a-
Nobody said you had to
thread a bobbin?
It's more that, like,
A
I
bobbin?
have to take them home to do them and then bring them back.
That's a pain.
And that means keeping my sewing station set up at home, which is also a thing.
I sewed a baseball hat. A baseball bat in class in like 7th grade once.
How do you sew a baseball bat?
You know, like it pretty much like a stuffed animal, but it was a baseball bat.
Okay.
And then I made like 3 peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm. Who were your peas in a pod? Did you name them?
No.
Why would you put peas in a pod and not name them?
I don't know. I thought it was cute. I was like 12.
Kids. Duh. Kids. 12-year-olds. Ugh. So unreliable.
I had to do it.
I just want you to know, Doc Jenna, that we got a lot more twist turbans in, and you might want to come in and look at them. I also have them up on the website. I know how much you love one.
They're
Beautiful.
They're fantastic.
They're really beautiful.
Extra fantastic.
Yeah. I feel like we're just getting it better and better every season.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I
See a
a
Brim
customer
box coming
with a
down the
box.
way.
We're in trouble now. Fun. Nope.
I'm gonna do this while you
Oh,
do-
jeez, I can't even.
I'm gonna do this while you do
What did I
this.
do?
Flip
I'm
it.
the worst.
Hey, sir,
Hi.
how you doing?
Good.
What you got?
The hat is too big. It was a gift. The gift receipts are there.
Let's see what we can do for you. How big is too big?
Okay.
It's a large. I think I need a medium. Sometimes I wear large.
When
Is
you
good?
break in the store?
I didn't do that.
Yeah, you did.
Try medium. If not, I can
Interruption in the
take it out
space-time
for you.
continuum there.
Let's see.
So
It's right here, Rick.
braids is a really general term, and it, can refer to all of these things. Which are all different kinds of, like they're all different materials, but their construction is the same, which is why they get stuck in the same category, which can be confusing because while they're all made the same, you can see that there's like a huge difference
So what I can do?
in,
Hold on, just a
so the
second.
way these are made.
I'll see something else.
Let's go back.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
talk about that for a second. Okay, so these start here at the center, and it's easy to see on this one because it's got a big
Yeah,
braid.
take your time.
And then these strips of fabric are stitched together, spiraling out all the way. And then they get kind of folded under here. I don't know if you can even tell that that's like it folds. Maybe you can't see that. I don't.
Is it still
It is a
considered
welt.
welted?
Yeah, it's still a welt edge. And this one has a wire in it to help give it the shape. I don't know why that requires this motion, but it did.
They make a beautiful hat.
They do make a beautiful hat at Mazer. So you can see that, I think you can see that. This is really, yeah, you can see that.
Uh-oh.
Really see-through. Lots of air, ventilation gets through there. This is a hemp braid.
bumblebees.
Okay, so this one is also a braid. This is a ribbon braid. So also about the same scale as this one, but the material is totally different. So you get a different product that, like, this doesn't really have airflow. And this one, the top is a ribbon and the bottom is a paper braid.
Thank you, dear.
We'll get into the materials a little bit. And then they can be a lot finer than that.
See you next time.
So, like, this one, you can see that the space in between the stitches is the space in between the layers of
That's a
material.
great Dave Matthews Band song. If you're into that kind of thing.
What is?
The space between.
Oh. Except I was just trying to think of what the between was. Like, what they were between. That was where I was getting hung up. I was having some trouble remembering
The crooked
words.
lies we tell.
Is that also a song?
I think that's the words. That's where the space is between. The crooked lies we tell.
Okay. Okay. Well, that clarified things for me. I definitely understand what's
What
going
is the
on
space
there.
in between?
I don't know that there's actually a name for that.
John McLaughlin?
I don't think he's on here, but if you do hop on, John, you can tell us. So these all, you can see the starting point on all of these.
What is that made out of?
This one is a paper braid. This one is a polypropylene braid. And this one is pretty small. The other way you can sort of see the size is in the edge here with how much space this one single row is here at the edge. And these can be made out of all kinds of things. So this is polypropylene. This is
Wheat.
Yeah, this is a wheat braid.
So that hat's not gluten-free?
It is not gluten-free.
You know, I
wouldn't
never
advise
thought about that.
eating a hat, though.
Well, some people, their skin.
Yeah, like really bad celiacs. Yeah. This one is raffia. This one is also raffia. I don't know why I'm still holding this in my other hand. This is paper. This is polypropylene again. These are cool because they get, like, the braid itself is made of a mix of colors.
Like a climbing rope. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, very similar. So that gives it this cool multicolored effect. This is a linen and hemp blend. And I think there's something else in here too. See if this one's gluten-free.
Non-GMO.
This is paper, linen, and polyester.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who knew? This one is hemp.
In powdered pink.
This one is a satin ribbon and paper. The one on Emily's head is hemp. So, like, these two things are the same material, but the scale is totally different.
So tighter weave.
Well, it's just
not
the
tighter.
braid itself is smaller on your hat than on this hat.
And closer together.
Yes, it's a tighter weave, and it's
You have all the words. I just know how to.
this is wider.
Yeah.
Sticking with wider.
We should post a video about how they do that.
About how they braid them.
Like, yeah. Well, not how they braid them, but even though that's the point of the video, but when they sew them, and it goes in a circle. That's so cool.
It is really cool to watch. It's just a good technique thing. There's just like a ton of weird, like what I've been realizing as we've been doing this is that there are a ton of weird things that we talk about all the time that seem really normal to us and no one knows what we're talking about. Like, I can't tell you how many times I just I'm like, no, what you need is a braid. And people are like, what's a braid?
Yeah.
Speechless. You're speechless from that one. Who knew? I didn't know I could even make you speechless. Yowzer. So why do we like braids, Emily?
They are They're sturdy.
You elaborate on sturdy?
They're well constructed. I don't know.
Well, I would argue that not all braids have to be well constructed. Like as
Okay,
a
that's
rule,
fair.
like
That's not a
ours
good-
are, but not all. Like you would see a paper braid probably in a like cheapy
You can say
sidewalk hat from a vacation
Like that?
destination.
Aww.
You be nice. You be nice to
I
him
love
and
him.
his hats.
He's cutie.
I know. He loves you. Don't offend him. He might be going home to check what's happening on Instagram.
Might be.
So they aren't necessarily all well constructed.
Yes, but they're sturdy. They're what's the word I'm looking for?
Durable.
Durable.
Yeah, they take
Yeah.
a lot of abuse overall as a material.
As a technique, not as a material. Because not all the materials.
Right.
Like, we won't tell you which ones. It just depends on what it's made out of. But they are all durable.
This is a good example. So
See that? I don't think it's not
this is a
40.
woven raffia hat, and this is a raffia braid.
175.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to just stay on my level.
So
Hey, you know what?
raffia in general has a lot of, like, it's pretty pliable, and as a natural straw, it takes a decent amount of abuse, even in the woven form.
No,
But
you said you could
the
talk
braid
about it.
form takes way more abuse because of how these are constructed. So the reason that these can take more abuse is because there are little narrow strips that are woven, plaited to make a braid, and then that braid is then stitched into the shape. So you get two processes that actually make the shape, and both of those processes add durability through layering, and that makes them more durable over time as opposed to just the natural durability of a product. So like polypropylene, they make lawn furniture out of this. It's gonna last like basically this side of forever. Or maybe the other side of forever.
Let me space it out for you.
I don't know which side of forever. Anyway,
It basically just depends on how you want it to fit.
this construction gives it more, like, you could
But
just
not tight.
do whatever you want to this hat and be completely horrible, and it's still gonna bounce back and look great.
Should you really ever be completely horrible?
Well, if you're the kind of person who's gonna be horrible to your hat, because we all know that you're out there, and like maybe you have a toddler who likes to grab your
I've got a
stuff.
story about that.
About-
Polypropylene.
Toddlers grabbing hats?
No. There was a customer who had a poly hat,
Uh-huh.
wore it on vacation to the beach, got in the ocean with it. It got submerged into the ocean. He took it back to his beach house, hosed it off with a gardening hose, water hose, outside hose, let it dry on his head so it wouldn't shrink, and it was perfectly fine.
Just to clarify, the hat wouldn't shrink because polypropylene
Right.
doesn't shrink.
But he
It's
did
the
it just for good
sweatband
measure. Yeah.
that can shrink up in that particular instance.
Yeah, but it was totally fine.
Yeah,
None of which we recommend, but
the two things I would not do with this hat are to light it on fire, which is going to ruin any hat you have. And I also would not wear it in chlorinated water because the chlorine can cause discoloration. Salt water, honestly, is not going to really do a lot of damage to a polypropylene hat. So there you go. You can do terrible things to polypropylene. Like, you can let your toddler use this as a chew toy. It's totally fine. I wouldn't give it to your dog, though, because your dog could definitely chew it up if you have an aggressive chewing dog. Because some dogs are aggressive chewers.
true.
So this one is also polypropylene, but this hat is really stiff. There's a lot of stiffener in that. You can probably hear it.
Yeah, you can hear
Yeah.
it.
Um,
Some ASMR.
yeah, although I
Hat
think in
ASMR.
the long run it would probably I don't know what actually taking all the stiffener out of this hat would do. This hat, I would not, I mean, one, it's white, so you're going to be careful with it anyway, but I wouldn't be as terrible to this hat as this hat. This is just really soft polypropylene, and this is a really firm polypropylene that's just, and it's got a leather sweat. I'll be right back. Okay, so someone who will remain nameless took this hat, had us put a custom band on it. It's a beautiful hat.
A little bit of room, especially when it's warm out.
And you really can't go wrong here. And then they took it and they put the whole hat in the washing machine. So this hat no longer has any stiffener in it because of the washing machine. And it shrank up, so this sweatband now is buckling. But the interesting thing about this is a lost cause as a hat. It would need to be completely taken apart, have this sweatband taken out, and be reblocked to make it back into a hat. But this material is still in totally usable, decent condition, even though the hat itself is
Thank you, dear. Appreciate you coming in.
not, well, the only way to fix it is to take it completely apart and reblock it, which could be worth doing because this material is still in excellent condition. And as you can see, like, they're different dye lots, so the color's a little bit different, but it lived through a wash cycle.
Smells good.
An actual wash cycle. And it got into the wash cycle because some small children were playing with it and apparently made it very dirty. Emily.
Yeah?
Do you think I have anything else to say here? I feel like I just have a lot of hats and I'm rambling at the screen.
Well, maybe we should end this and Cha-Cha just came.
Yeah, the shipment, the
Special orders
just came in. Definitely can do that.
So if you think you need a braid,
Anyway, so when you read the word braid on the website, know that it can refer to any of these things, and there are a lot of them. But as a general rule, whether it's a natural fiber or a synthetic fiber, sorry, internet. Whether it's a natural fiber or a synthetic fiber, the construction itself makes them more durable and able to handle more abuse. But the thing you want to look for is to actually make sure that the stitching is good and even and regular, because that's the sign of good construction. And if the stitching's like all over the place and wonky, and the sizing, the spacing, like these are very even rows here. If those aren't even, it's not a good hat, so don't buy it. That's what I got. I'm sorry, there hasn't been a lot of crap because Emily has been helping.
Spider-Man's outside, so there's that.
Yeah, well, I like that Spider-Man's got a tote bag for Hollister.
Spider-Man also has a fanny pack.
Yes.
Well, which is Spider Person, because. And there's Cynthia in her midsummer.
Sorry, I can't get any closer so you can see the Hollister tote bag. But
I want to get a picture of Cynthia and Spider Person.
Spider Person together.
Spider Person.
Oh, also today is my brother's birthday.
Oh,
he turned 40 today.
Woohoo!
I think he got a better 40th birthday than I did. I got a global pandemic for my birthday, and he got to hang out with like the whole family.
And
all the
here you
nieces and
are.
nephews, our sister, not me, because I was working.
Talking about braids.
Small business life. What can I say? Okay, goodbye.